Hi there, my name is Leticia Wiggins. I'll be going on this journey with you for History 2752, or History and Social Reform Movements in the U.S. I'm really excited to be here with you. I'm actually a graduate of Ohio State, a graduate in a big way because I did both my undergraduate and graduate education here. So that's 9 years of being at OSU. And I should say that I studied social reform movements as a graduate student, specifically the Chicano and Latino movement of the 1970s. So when we hear about Cesar Chavez and farm workers movements, I looked at that, but in the Midwest, to kind of figure out what was different about the Midwest and how place factors into social movements in a big way as well. And so in thinking about that project, I've also thought a lot about what it means to have a social movement and how difficult it is. And that's part of what we'll be talking about for this course, is how hard it is to get a collective group of people together to achieve change. And in going through this course, I thought really hard about some of the readings we'll have, and I just wanted to introduce them real quick. There are 5 main readings for this course. We'll kind of start with a primary text. This is Howard Zinn, Anthony Arnaud's A People's History, well, Voices from a People's History. So as we go through this, there's a lot of primary voices. These are people speaking from the era that we'll be kind of covering. So I think this is an important base text to look at what people were actually saying. We also have this idea of labor history. Labor factors into social movements in a big way in the United States especially. So I have from the folks who brought you the weekend. This will kind of be a through line that'll bring us from the revolution to the present. So this will kind of be something we keep hearkening back to in lectures and in quizzes. Then I'll have March. So we'll talk about different ways that history can be written, even in graphic novel form, in comic form. So we'll kind of think about how effective this is and how different stories can be told through different mediums in history. Women of Color in the Reproductive Rights Movement is actually a book that I read in graduate school, and it got me thinking a lot about intersectionality, how class, race, and even just identity, sexuality politics all play into how we identify with others and how we form these movements. And so I think this is a really fascinating study of women trying to get together and struggle for reproductive rights. Kind of bringing it up to present, we have Between the World and Me by a really famous author. You might have heard of Ta-Nehisi Coates. He writes for The Atlantic. So I think that this will be really interesting in thinking about civil rights movements and where we are today as well. So I've introduced your lovely reading. Hopefully you won't be too scared off by it. We'll talk about different reading strategies that'll help you get the most out of these books. And I'll also sort of give you guided reading questions each week so that you can think about what the most important things to take away from these are. In addition to the readings, we'll have a quiz and a discussion post due each week. These will both be due by Friday at 5 p.m. The quiz will be a simple multiple choice, kind of all-ranging sort of style questionnaire based on the lectures, the readings, and any other videos I might have you watch. The discussion posts, those will be pretty simple as well, but I'll have a question that I'll ask you all, and you'll be asked to respond to the question and also respond to somebody else's response or pose a question of your own. And that'll have kind of this participation element for the course. And so we can sort of have discussions online that way. In addition to these readings and the quizzes and discussion posts, there will be a midterm and a final. Both of these are related in that I'm asking you to kind of craft your own social movement that could happen in the current moment. And in doing this, you're going to be drawing on a lot of this historical social movements that we've talked about, and also trying to learn from these leaders and deciding what you need to have a successful movement. And so the midterm and the final will both be crafting and really making this movement come to fruition. And I'll give you more details as we get closer to those as well. So I'm so excited to be here with you and teaching this course. Every week I'll be posting the materials on Monday, and hopefully everything will be online, including the lectures, the discussion post, the quizzes, and any other video materials that I'll have you read. Everything is on the syllabus as well, so I'll direct you to there to look at your readings. You can totally read ahead for future weeks. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me via Carmen, via email. I'll have all my information on the Carmen page as well. So I'm really excited to be here with you all, and I look forward to teaching this course.